A UN Organ, IGO and NGO Investigation by Sophia Kim. So my principal UN organ is the Secretariat. What is the Secretariat? It's the principal administrative department of the UN, as it carries out substantive and administrative work directed by other main organs. The Secretariat is headed by the Secretary General, which currently is Pan Ki-moon, a South Korean. It consists of departments and offices with the total staff from 180 different countries. The Secretariat doesn't take order from any government or outside authority, but only the UN and the Secretary General. And the Secretariat serves to help other main organs and the UN function. So, the role of the Secretariat. The Secretariat administers peacekeeping operations, mediates international disputes, surveys economic and social trends and problems in order to prepare studies on human rights and sustainable development. The Secretariat also administers programs and policies laid down by other organs, and it also organizes international conferences on issues of worldwide concern. Lastly, it interprets speeches and translates documents into appropriate languages so that different countries have access to what's going on with the UN and what the UN has been discussing about. So, the influence of the Secretariat on global politics. The Secretariat helps the world to be in touch with each other in the sense that the Secretariat organizes international conferences where states or countries can come together in order to discuss worldwide issues like the Syrian war and the current refugee crisis. It also has an influence on global politics because it allows the rest of the world to be aware and informed of social issues, problems, our human rights, and activities of the UN and the main organs. Lastly, the Secretariat has an influence on global politics because the overall job of the Secretariat supporting the other main organs would assist in maintaining peace of the world as the Secretariat attempts to solve disputes with or through thorough discussions and solutions. So my IGO is the Organization for Security Cooperation in Europe, which is the OSCE. So what is the OSCE? It's an organization that allows the world to discuss security issues in order to create plans that will help improve lives of individuals and communities. It's also an organization that approaches security issues that encompasses political, military, economic, and environmental and human aspects. It also addresses a wide range of security-related concerns, for example, arms control, confidence and security building measures, human rights, national minorities, counterterrorism, etc. Here, I'll show you a quick website. So, the OSCE promotes arms control, border management, combating human trafficking, combating terrorism, conflict prevention and resolution, democratization, economic activities, education, elections, environmental activities, gender equality, good governance, human rights, and yeah, you get the point. So, back to my presentation. The OSCE bridges differences and builds trust between the states by discussing conflict prevention, crisis management, and post-conflict rehabilitation. It serves to ensure security, as OSCE has concerns for issues that would have an impact on or threat on common security. Like I said, it would address issues that have an impact on our common security, including arms control, terrorism, good governance, energy security, human trafficking, democratization, media freedom, and national minorities. So, the history of OSCE. It traces its origin to the Cold War detente, if I'm pronouncing that properly, of the early 1970s when the Conference on Security and Cooperation in Europe which is called CSE then, was created to serve as an important multilateral forum for dialogue and negotiation between the East and West. The influence OSCE has on global politics. OSCE values the idea of security a lot, so we could see that it has an influence on global politics in the sense that it would ensure that countries don't have hard feelings for each other, but that they have good relations. This is an example of where the post-Westphalian conception of sovereignty is promoted, since OSCE works to secure the internal and external factors of a country. It also has an influence on global politics because it brings stability, democracy, and peace to billions of people through the promotion of the post-Westphalian conception of sovereignty. Next, my NGO is Korea Amnesty International. So, what is Korea Amnesty International? According to the website, it's a global movement of 7 million people who take injustice personally. Korea Amnesty International also works to promote human rights, as it serves to allow people to have all their rights that have been enshrined in the Universal Declaration of Human Rights. It also investigates and exposes facts where injustice takes place. It lobbies groups, governments, and companies to make sure the international laws are kept and respected. It provides education programs to the Korean public so they can be aware of their human rights, and it focuses on arms control and security with human rights, forced eviction in Asia, exploiting migrants in Asia, and abolition of death penalty in Asia, especially South Korea. Joyce, stop chewing my computer. Sorry, that was my dog. The brief history of Korea Amnesty International. So it was founded in 1972, where the human rights movement started under the Yushin Constitution that Park Chung-hee, the dictator during that time, declared. The influence of Korea Amnesty International on global politics. Korea Amnesty International has an influence in global politics because it works to promote international law, which is really important because the international law is needed in order to ensure stability of the citizens and the country. According to UN, international law defines the legal responsibilities of states in their conduct with each other and the treatment of individuals within state boundaries. Its domain encompasses a wide range of issues of international concern, such as human rights, disarmament, international crime, refugees, migration, problems of nationality, the treatment of prisoners, the use of force, and the conduct of war, among others. It also regulates the global commons, such as the environment, sustainable development, international waters, outer space, global communications, and world trade. It also has an influence in JP because it creates an environment where human rights are better protected and where the dominance of justice can be found in society today. For example, if you look to the right, you could see an activity where Korea Amnesty International was raising awareness about immigrant workers in Korea that were being abused by Korean bosses, as the Korean bosses were treating the immigrant workers as machines and violating their human rights. Korea Amnesty International did a street marketing along with the agency Super Normal Voice. And if you look in the picture, you could see a hard-working person that has like an electric cord connected to their back, which depicts an image where the Korean bosses were treating the workers as machines. So the MLA citation for my information and the pictures. Yeah, thank you.